okay on it? Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
We're on?
We're on.
Okay. So having my teacher, my brother, master teacher here at Semperviva today, we just finished an amazing workshop together. I have a few questions. So the first one came from Instagram, and in your own practice, what do you prioritize and why are those elements important to you?
Usually I prioritize shoulder opening, hip opening, and core. Shoulder opening mainly because I'm traveling so much and I'm using my body all the time. That's usually the first part of my body that gets closed up. My hips, because I'm running a lot every day and my hips tend to get really tight and that affects my back. So I want to make sure that those things stay open and loose and ready to practice. And the last thing is core, is mainly so that I look good in spandex. But also it fuels the rest of my practice. It allows me to do some strong arm balances and stuff like that. So yeah, those two things.
Well, and why are they important for you?
Just the main thing is because whenever I'm not opening my shoulders, I can really feel it in my practice. I feel limited, I feel stuck. And sometimes, especially when I'm traveling, I'll wake up sometimes in the morning and it's really hard to lift the arms, and it's just my body contracting from usually dehydration from traveling. So drink lots of water and make sure that I stay open. So even when I go to yoga classes or something, I'm mainly going because I want to just keep the joints open and moving so I can be fluid while I'm teaching.
Cool. So my second question is, for those who don't know, Chris was the master teacher for the teacher trainees who are new teachers about to finish the training here in Vancouver. What would you advise for new teachers right after they finish the training? It's a big gap between the training education and starting to teach.
Yeah. Don't teach, share. When you start to think of yourself as a teacher, you start to compare yourself to what you see out in other studios and what you see teachers who have a lot of experience. Be willing to just start someplace. And the best way to do is just to share what you're passionate about and what you love, and just share your own practice and your own experiences. And nobody has the same experiences as you have, so immediately you'll start to set yourself apart in that way. And just be true to yourself and it's going to be okay.
Cool. Just melted my heart. Chris travels a lot. He travels Europe a lot, and he's here in Canada this week. And in spring, I think you're going to Australia. So that much traveling and holding the space for so many people you know and you don't know. Like 3 things you do in your routine before you teach to settle while you're traveling.
Yeah, one of the main things is I drink coffee. I drink a lot of coffee. But also once I get anywhere in a city is I go for a run. And that just allows me to kind of ground in the place that I am. I get familiar with the environment. And I'm going to say 4 things. You asked for 3, I'll say 4. The third one would be practice. Before I even step in the room, I want to move my body and kind of embody what I'm teaching, kind of share from inside. So I need to feel what it feels like to move in the way that I'm going to teach. And then the last thing is really unique, I think. Maybe a lot of people experience this, but I get quiet. And if I'm around people before I teach, they might think that I'm a little bit moody or upset or something, but I'm actually just conserving energy. I start to almost close down a little bit. And all I'm doing is just holding my energy to myself, because once I step in the room, I'm giving so much energy that I have to have it to give. So, and it also allows me time to contemplate. And before I ever step in the room, I'm starting to already visualize how the practice is going to go, where I'm going to move the bodies, how I'm going to move them, how I'm going to transition. So I've already kind of run it over and over in my head before I ever execute it. So that way when I step in the room, I'm actually not thinking, I'm actually just feeling what I've already imprinted in myself. And it just takes time and space, and I have to give it that space. So, yeah.
Super valuable. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, and thank you.
Thank you.
For listening. Lots of love. Awesome.